All right, so our next victim is going to be this carburetor. It's a fairly new carburetor. Came with the bike. I'm going to show you guys how to get these out if they're being a pain. So I got 3 out of the 4 loose, but this one right here just didn't want to play nice. So what you do is you take and you set it down level. You make sure your impact screwdriver is going the right way. And then you set your impact screwdriver on it. And you see we're not going the right way. So we want to go to left. Like that. You grab a hammer. Now, I'm going to disclaim this. You don't need one this big, so I'm going to tap very gently. But it's the only hard hammer I have. So you're going to go like this. Make sure you're locked in. Make sure you're locked in there and give it a nice little tap. Gentle taps. And it's still not wanting to do it. So we're going to all the way over. And then put it back on there. Make sure we're going the right way. Make sure we're going the right way, which we were. Get it on there and tap. And we got it, just like that. Now you put a regular screwdriver on there and pull it out. Now, once you've been messing with these like this and they get gacked up, the $1.49 you're gonna spend on eBay to get you brand new, not gacked up bolts headed your way, it's worth every penny, because you don't want to put that head, see it, back in there if you don't have to. Me, I don't like doing it, so I order new ones every time if I gack one up. If they come off beautiful, cool. But if I got to use the impact screwdriver on any of them, you can bet your butt they're getting replaced, because it's just not worth it. So we'll get some of those on order too. For, like I said, the couple dollars we're going to spend, it's very much so worth it to have good, clean nuts on these. Especially with this being an older Yamaha, these carburetors tend to come off more often than riders care to admit. So we're taking them apart a lot, cleaning them, because the bike sits for 5 minutes, and then with the fuel in today's market, you got to clean them. I run all my bikes out of fuel still sometimes. Something crusty ends up in the tank, down plugs the jet up, and we're right in the same boat we're in right now. I'm only pulling this one apart. This one looked pretty clean. And I haven't ran it through the cleaner yet, but it looked pretty clean. I'm running it, pulling it apart just because I don't know what's inside of it, and I don't want to build my new motor and then have a mess on my hands. And I'm looking like I'm glad I did. Carburetor looks brand new. So the guy was right. Not even a speck of dirt in there. Oh, wait a minute. Aha, we do got some dirt in there. So we'll pull this apart, clean it gentle, and then throw it back together. Shouldn't need too much. Just a quick little buzz out, and you're in good shape. All that needs right there. And then we'll get it thrown back together here real soon. But so I'm gonna show you how to do these if you've never done it. Take this guy out. Should be a little needle pin that falls out. Just trying to fall out in my hand right now. If you just tap the float, it'll fall right out in your hand, and then this pulls out your float and your needle. You see your seat needle? Wait for it. Wait for it. Right there, it's flopping around. That's your seat needle. Those go in one way and one way only. So, cognizant of that. Now, we need to get ourselves a really, really small flathead screwdriver. I'll be right back. I'll show you what I use. So this is the guy I use. He's very, very small. So you stick him in there, find your notch. Now, push in and loosen. You don't want to strip this inside the carb. Otherwise, you are buying a new carburetor. And let's be real, ain't nobody want to do that. So this is one of your jets. And it is clean. You can hold it up to some light. it'll be good. Now, if you don't have an ultrasonic cleaner like I do, and one of these jets is plugged, what you can do is get a small piece of baling wire, or they make jet cleaners that are like a little pipe cleaner. But more often than not, you end up wishing you didn't use them because they bend, they bow, they're quite literally a giant pain in the butt. And you don't want to use them if you don't have to. My dad has a set. I used them the other day. They pissed me off more than anything. And then I got my ultrasonic cleaner, so that was cool. Let's see, do I have a right size wrench out here? Nope, sure don't. So we got the old adjustable. Just kidding. Don't use the adjustable. Oh, 6mm. Good thing I almost just talked crap on an adjustable because now we're using one. Don't use them if you don't have to, guys. If you can get the right size. If you can get the right size wrench or socket or T-handle. I love my T-handles, but we're not using those right now. If you can get the right size, use it, please, because you'll thank yourself later when you don't have a bunch of stuff that's stripped out and looking like it just went through circuits. Perfect. Pilot jet's set. All right. So, for those of you that don't know, your pilot jet controls your idle. So, when you have a bike that won't idle, or it's a 4-stroke bike that's popping real bad, and it's hard to start, a lot of times that's what it is. So what we're looking for now is any gunk that's in here that we can take out. So shine it in the light, get it in the cracks and crevices. I spray out anyway just to make sure we're not missing nothing. Right in the corneas. It's beautiful. It's what you want. And then you take gently. All right, people freak out when this happens. No reason to freak out. Your little needle fell off, right? Okay, there's only one way it goes on. It slides right over, just like this. So you see it? It sits on that little guy right there. So you just slide it on, and that's all it is to it. Nothing to it. Then you take your carb, spin it around, let it sit in there. Wait for it. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Get off me. All right. Set it on there, just like I showed you. Whoop. And then we're going to set it in. And it fell off again. So, sometimes you just got to play with it while you can. Try not to drop it in the carb. You know, I swear to you, they never fight me as bad as when they're on camera. They know they're on camera and they just want to make you look like an idiot. You're joking. She's playing hardball, gents. She's playing hardball. All right. You're joking. You're joking. You'll see a point in the video where I'm just done playing around with it. Point achieved. Slide your little pin back in. Make sure your floats aren't stuck. That's how you make sure you're ready. So they fall down. Beautiful, just like they're supposed to. All right, so now if that works like it's supposed to and nothing's hanging up, take your carb bowl, And again, like I said, I'm going to order new bolts, but for the purposes of the video, I'm going to put it back together for you. Whoops. That goes in there. Come on. And it just slides down like that. Whoop. Once it's on, start your bolts. I'm going to talk about one more thing here once we get these bolts threaded in. Talk about one more thing. Say you're not one of those people that likes to run your bike out of fuel, right? Before you don't ride for a little while, which you should always run your bike out of fuel. But if you're not one of those people, and you don't want your mind changed, then it's fine. All you got to do is shut your fuel off, and then I'll show you a trick for the carburetor here. Show you a cool little trick for the carb. All I'm doing is putting the 4 bolts back in. Same 4 that you took out a second ago. And there's your 2-stroke carb clean right there. If you had a rebuild kit, you just pull each piece, replace it piece for piece. I've done quite a few of them in my day, and I still go piece for piece with it. That way you pull out a jet, you put a jet in. You pull out a spring, you put a spring in. But now say, like I was talking about a minute ago, say you don't want to say you don't want to pull your tank or drain your tank at the end of the year, but you want to make sure your bike's going to fire up first, second, third kick the next year. Real simple. All you do is turn your gas off when you shut the bike off. And then you can either leave it running with the gas off until it dies, or if you don't want to do that, you pull this plug. Okay, this lid is to the bottom of your bowl. Right here. This bolts to the bottom of your bowl. You open this, it jumps all the fuel out, and then your carburetor bowl is empty. You crank it back down. You will not have any dried up gunky fuel in your carburetor when you go to start it the next season, if you do that. My best of the practice is I just run the bike out of fuel because I feel like that does more for me versus the alternative, but to each their own. So that's a simple how to clean your carburetor, how to rebuild your carburetor if you had a rebuild kit. On a 94 YZ250, or a lot of the 2-stroke carburetors are all the same. Most of them are key-in carburetors, so they're very, very straightforward. But hope that helps you out. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If not, I'm sorry. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to. I won't force it on you, but I'd love for you to. So we'll see you in the next one.